you're all good. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations at Hotel Charlie. It's where we talk to people that inspire us, and we get to know the person behind the craft. Oftentimes, it's like creatives, artists, things like that. Today, we have a special guest and someone who I consider like very inspiring, but also a really good friend. We have Dyno Rock here.
What's up, everybody?
So, man, like, what were you up to today?
Today, was like a Sunday. We didn't really celebrate Easter today. We kind of just woke up, got the day going.
Oh, really?
Dropped the kids off to a jam.
Oh,
That's
nice.
the first time that we let them off on their own and kind of just explore the jam on their own. And apparently they killed it because I heard they made top 4. So, good job to them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So then, like, what else? So what did you guys do all day? Like, did you?
Oh yeah, so we've been, right now we're kind of apartment hunting in San Diego. It's like really tricky. So if you're like listening from a different part of the world, how hard can that be? It's pretty tough in San Diego. So,
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy right now because like
Yeah.
there's a shortage of homes,
Yeah,
and also like it's a grip,
yeah, exactly.
which is like
yeah,
which is tough.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
So then like now people are moving into areas that they didn't think of before,
yeah,
and
exactly.
now it's like oh well I might move there. You know what I mean?
It's weird because this first time I was like, we're actually looking at something that's actually close to Santee, and I'm like, oh, it's Santee.
Yeah.
I never thought about actually.
But you know what? There's a bunch
considering
of stuff there now. There's a bunch of
Oh,
like
yeah.
food.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because like my in-laws live there, and then there's a bunch of like it's cool. There's a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
They have things that we don't have. Well, I mean it's still San Diego, but you know what I mean. Like they have like all the restaurants there. I guess nobody cooks there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like out on Mission Gorge, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of like cool spots. There's like King's Chicken. There's
It's King's Chicken.
Yeah, there's like Sonic. There's
Yeah.
just all sorts of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
They have a Phil's barbecue out there.
Wow, that's good news for
Phil.
Phil.
Do you ever go to Phil's barbecue?
It's like my dad loves it, so whenever he's down here from the Philippines, he'll like, let's go to Phil's barbecue,
Oh,
It's
really?
like-
Yeah. Is that how your dad talks?
Oh no, he talks like, actually he's more excited, like that. Like, he's a very excited Filipino father. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
That's cool. So like, well, we could talk about that later, but you guys just went to
Yeah.
Philippines and stuff.
Yeah.
What else did you do today? Like, so did you have any luck with the house stuff, or are you still thinking?
Oh, okay, yeah. So the main dilemma is that we're kind of, I guess we're like in this paranoia of like, all right, like, is this apartment really available, or are they just trying to stack up on like application fees?
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of really trying to filter out like who's actually really serious about what's actually available.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Those are the kind of little things.
Nah, it's always tricky. But like, do you do a lot of stuff out there, like East County?
Oh yeah, actually, it's interesting you say that because when I first got into the organization I teach with, Arts for Learning, they specifically wanted a person of color to teach in a school of a lot of Caucasian students, and that was actually one of the schools there because it was some part of like
expanding diversity
exactly
or something?
like ethnic
yeah.
something to do with history, but also ethnicity and also understanding like something like this with the curriculum. So actually, that was probably my first time doing work out there. Yeah, and it actually turned out really great. Like the kids loved it. And
Out in Santee?
yeah, it's Santee. So
we're like, are they familiar with like breaking and like that kind of culture, or was it all new to them?
It's a little bit of both because you have you get glimpses. I think so. When I was kind of introducing it over to them, there's a lot of stigma you have to get past. Okay, like hip hop terminology, like what is hip hop, and then when I'm introducing like breaking, and understanding that breaking is actually an original dance form of hip hop. So you have to get through a lot of that. But sometimes like with the short classes, you don't really like I don't know how much actually gets retained, because it's kind of like a really fast paced class. But I do my best to kind of really teach that part.
For them, were they familiar with like hip hop, or
Yeah, kind of.
or were like to them hip hop is like
actually,
Drake?
I take that back. Yeah, let me clarify that. The term they're familiar with hip hop. I would say the actual culture.
It's
the
like a
art
different
forms.
definition.
It's not the same. You have to really break things down from the start. So, you have to talk about where it comes from. Marginalized youth. Black and brown, New York City, and then where it's now like okay, we're in Santee all of a sudden. So you have to really like bring it down the levels. So what I did was I taught the class, but in between I'd have to kind of narrate the history. Okay, now like for example like. I would just kind of narrate the history basically throughout all the classes. And that's kind of how I normally teach. I like to kind of narrate so that I'm not spoon feeding all the time, like, oh, this is the four elements,
Yeah.
I like to kind of make it more casual conversation.
But like one thing that's pretty interesting about you is that like you're very respectful of the ones that came before you.
Oh,
right?
Of course, yes, yeah.
Like I don't think that's very common. Like I don't know. I guess like when I think of you, I think of like an old soul. Like, do you know what I mean? Like an old hip hop soul, like in a young man's body. Does that make sense? Like, like the way your mindset is different than a lot of people nowadays, where like they don't really pay homage to the past. Do you know what I mean? But like even the way you break and everything is very respectful of the past.
Oh, I could delve into that a lot because, and I should say, like, I wasn't always, like, I still could work on a lot of things because I wasn't always perfect. Like, I wasn't always, like, when I was younger, I was obviously naive. So, I took a lot of things for granted from, like, my elders. But for the most part, I've always been a fan of that original style. And I've always just been a fan of, I really just look up to a lot of folks, like, during that era, a lot of those crews back then, and especially even in San Diego, like a lot of these guys that got down was really grateful for. But I would say the reason why I feel that this way, it's different, because in today's generation, it's kind of broken. Like you have a lot of divide in generations, so it's really hard to really bridge things. So I think I probably came in at that tail end where. You would still see like your elders there, and then like you had like the younger folks, and then you would be in one setting. Right now, it's kind of like really segmented, and I think we could definitely work on that. And part of that is really how we get people involved, and I think that's really important. But it's like within each culture and tribe, like you have to have like your elders present because they have the knowledge. They have
the history.
The history.
Yeah.
And when you kind of move without knowing, it's kind of there's no real purpose to it, no longevity in it.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah, things like that. But shout outs to everybody who's kind of taken their time to really help me grow. There's a lot of people I want to shout out. Maybe I'll tag them.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
at the end, like we'll definitely go through that.
Yeah.
So then I kind of jumped forward into like the breaking stuff.
Right.
That was kind of an accident,
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's not a bad thing. But then like the other interesting thing I was talking to you about before is that you had Thai food today, right?
Oh yeah.
And then so I told you like not to tell me. So now I'm asking you to tell me. But like, what was up with that?
Okay, so this Thai food spot, it's actually really close to one of the spots I teach at, Thai Culture Shock. I'm not gonna name the business because
yeah.
I'm gonna just make it really obvious, just in case you know. But it's one of the Thai spots that is very close to Culture Shock. I used to go there a lot. Like it's been there for years. So I had like this understanding, like, oh yeah, this is really good Thai food, But then I think after a couple of years, I moved out and moved back in. I noticed a lot of changes, with management who was actually working there. But I definitely had Thai food, but I didn't have Thai food. Like it was not Thai food. It was like.
What'd you order?
Well, we supposedly ordered some pad Thai, but that doesn't.
But yeah, you were saying like it tasted like Mexican food.
Yeah.
So
It was seasoned like heavily with like I don't know, it just
like Mexican flavor.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's like a specific flavor, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean that's weird because Thai
Yeah.
is very like
It's
specific.
unique. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I have a very sensitive taste. Like I can distinguish taste pretty well. So.
Yeah.
And also Piggy was with me too, so she also agreed that. Yeah.
Like what is this?
What is this?
So then, is that
So-
normally what you get pad Thai?
No, I actually get a lot of different things like curries or
I haven't had Thai curry.
tonka and stuff. Yeah.
What? Oh, it's coconut though, right?
Yeah, it's coconut based, and I like coconut based stuff. So.
Because you're Filipino, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, because like Filipinos love coconuts.
Yeah.
Like, you guys love coconuts, and you guys love eggs.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I've never met any other culture in the world that could eat as many eggs as you guys
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. And what's crazy was like when coconut oil became like super popular in the health stores, and it blew up. Like, oh my god, just 2 pints for $10.
Yeah.
I remember talking to my dad. I was like, "Yo, we need to like jump on this coconut oil business because, like, you know, for my dad, it's like it was just a childhood thing. Like, it's easy for him. Like, oh,
Yeah.
coconut oil, yeah, like we do that every day, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's funny that like something so simple or not normal to us is like it just blows up everywhere else. Like,
No, I hear
Sprouts,
that.
Whole
Like,
Foods or
there's a lot of things like. Oh, I mean, it's kind
Yeah.
of like ramen.
yeah, exactly.
You know how, like
It's-
I've just kind of always known about it,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then now it's like, oh damn, like you got to try this, you know? what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining because I
Yeah.
love it, you know. But,
Yeah.
that's a trip. Like Thai food though, I love spicy basil. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chicken.
That sounds yeah.
What like spice do you get? Do you go like? Are you real spicy?
Shoot. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they always say like 1 to 10 or something.
We always go like between like 7. I would say 7 is like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I like you know because I like spicy stuff, so I
Yeah.
thought I was like pretty badass, and then I was like 10,
Oh,
and
shit.
the lady said like, "Are you sure 10?" And I was like, "Yeah, 10." And they came. It was so hot, dude. Like I couldn't even enjoy it. Like I was like sweating,
Oh man.
like probably like sweat into the food. Like it was so hot. Like my nose was all wet,
Oh yeah.
and like, needless to say, it really hurt. A couple
Yeah.
hours later, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
as it
I imagine.
left me,
Yes.
it was like death, dude. Like,
In all ways,
yeah,
yeah.
like so.
Oh, man.
I don't go 10 anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
What
don't know
other
about that.
What other spots do you guys like to go to? Like,
Oh shoot.
well, not just Thai food, but like what other spots in SD?
Um,
Do you have any
you know,
recommendations?
I think that's the like food exploration. Oh, you know what's really good? Salud. You know, Salud. I would say because they moved to National City, and a lot of people don't know about their National City location.
Do you go to that one, or you go?
Yeah,
to
because it's just down the street for me. It's Island Avenue.
yeah. Does it taste the same?
Yeah, it's really good. Like, at first, I thought Lolita's. I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, I thought Lolita's had the best California burrito,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
I was defending that statement for like a good 18, 20 years. Just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
they have the best. I know they have the best. But I went to like Salud like last week, and I ordered their California burrito, and it was the most like
Oh really?
they edged them out just a little bit, like Lolita's like was right here, and then like Salud was like boom.
I've honestly never gone to Salute because like I've seen it in Barrio,
yeah
and then I was like it was really crowded,
right
and then
right
I was like, you know,
yeah
I'll come back again, and then I'm always like busy, and I drive by the National City one,
Yeah.
and I look at the mural,
yeah
and I'm like, oh man, I should go there. You know, I should stop by, and I
Yeah.
never do. Like I never have a reason to go,
yeah.
but I gotta check it out. Like it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But obviously there's a lot of gems in San Diego. You know, there's so many. It's hard to go wrong with taco shops, but the reason why I like Salud is just because you see a lot of the artists that you know. You know, Ethos one he has a lot of his art over there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude,
I-
that guy is like, he's got
Yeah.
stuff in like Port Vita now too.
Yeah. And then
It's like
like
everywhere.
yeah, he's everywhere. He's
It's
everywhere.
probably around here right now. Like,
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of Dice One too, so I know Dice One stuff is
oh yeah,
there
yeah.
too in Porvita, and yeah, you see a lot of like art, and they kind of bring that community vibe and that culture vibe, and I like that. But
Nah, that's cool. So National City, like the food is the same
Yeah,
to you?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's the same. So if you're tired of the line, you could
Try
just
to go
drive
National
down.
City.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's on Highland, right? It's like Highland, not far down, like off the 54. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm sure everyone, if you really want to, like, it's called Google, like
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
Maps or whatever, and you'll find
Exactly.
it. But
Yeah.
so you tried the California burrito?
California burrito. There's like they even have like the taco versions of it called they call it Khalifa. So you just gotta order with the carne asada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
it's like the flour tortilla is really good. Like, yeah.
Dang, I've never had that.
They even got a couple. They got vegan options. They have fish options too. So
Oh, really? The vegan tacos?
yeah, yeah.
Is it like fake meat, or is it like fajitas, like vegetable?
Oh, good question. I forgot because I haven't ordered it in a while.
Well,
but this potato. Oh, potato. Yeah. The potato roll tacos are really good. Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, everyone always gets potato tacos, and like,
yeah.
dude, I've never had a potato taco. Cause okay,
Really?
this is my problem. Like, I'll go to a Mexican place, right, and I'll look at the menu,
Yeah.
and as I'm looking at all the things, I imagine myself eating them, and I'm like,
right.
oh man, that would be really good. Oh, but that would be really good. You know, like, oh, that would have a nice crunch. You know what I mean? And
You know, I had to correct myself because if there's sour cream, it's not really vegan. It's just gonna be. It's just vegetarian. Sorry, guys. Like, it's false.
yeah.
Because I realized, oh, actually, they put sour cream on there, so it
Yeah,
makes
vegan
sense.
is like no milk, right?
Yeah. It's like just hardcore, like everything plant based. Yeah.
Dang. So, well, that's the other thing too. It's funny, right?
Yeah.
They said you told me
Uh-huh.
everyone when they interview you, they all think you're vegan.
Yeah.
So, like, do you want to clarify on that? Or
Okay, I'm like a struggling vegan, so like, yeah.
well, you actually are.
I don't-
You
I went off because for well, you know, when things were like, stable for me, good, like, yeah, well,
stable meaning what?
like
Just in your life, like everything was organized in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I have to agree, like that period of time when I was eating this like clean, and I was like really focused on my training. I probably had the most, I would say, energy economy like throughout the day. Like I can't explain it. But-
From eating cleaner.
Yeah, just eating cleaner and just like because I went through a detox period, and just like was just changing everything I did, like habits, like what I ate, you know. Yeah, I was really interesting. That was like 2015, 2014, 15. I started meditating. You know, I started like just doing all these like things, just trying to like really get my mind right and all that stuff, my body right. You know, so-
Yeah, I mean, you're like the Tiger Woods of like
Oh man,
breaking,
shoot.
because
That's funny.
like for example, right, like Tiger Woods, he was the first guy to like lift weights. He was the first person to like probably do yoga or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when everyone else was just hitting golf balls,
Right.
and like he would like have a therapist and like mental
Yeah.
coaches and all these things that no one ever did.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what you're saying is like,
hmm
I'm sure you ate cleaner
Yeah.
for your craft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the energy to do your craft better.
Yeah.
You train all the time. You're like, yeah, to even think about all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So your new name is Tiger Rock.
Tiger Rock.
Yeah, that's your new name.
Tiger Rock.
Yeah,
I
Tiger.
think
Like,
Tyga, I could probably take Tyga's name.
well, he's a rapper, so
Oh, yeah.
you would have to battle him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So then, I don't know, like as far as everything else, what else have you been up to? Well, you're no longer vegan, so going back to that, you're no longer vegan, right?
Oh man.
Or you kind of are,
I'm
or
conflicted right now. All right.
you just try to eat. You try to eat the best that you can.
Yeah. Exactly. Just trying to get back to. You know, when you fall out of something, it's kind of like you have to like kind of, I don't know, find some type of flow. And
That's a lot of commitment, though. Because,
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, if you
right
look
now
at
it
me,
is for sure.
if you look at me, obviously, I don't eat clean, and like I feel sluggish.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. I'm sure, like, if I ate better, I would probably have more energy. You know
Oh
what I mean?
right.
But
Yeah.
I'm just like,
You can do your coin drops again.
dude. But I see, like, I can do it and I can hit the floor, but I'm so fat. My fat, it messes with the momentum, and it's hard for me to get back up.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I can get fatter maybe and bounce,
Oh yeah. See. Yeah.
then I can like get back up.
Yeah. I mean, it's like physics. So,
I'll work on that for the Olympics.
yeah. Yeah. 2024. It's a good amount of time still.
So like, do you have any thoughts on that, or like?
Oh yeah, that's a super touchy subject, and I haven't really shared my thoughts on it
Well,
for a lot of reasons.
Do you want to share your thoughts on it? You don't have to. I was just thinking.
I'll touch a little bit on it, but I kind of, the way I kind of see it was, for the record, like when I was inspired by the culture is really by the underground part of it, like the ciphers, the raw aspects of it. Like a lot of my early jams was, really based off of the raw vibe, the music, how it felt, just getting in that circle.
Yeah.
The way things are going now, I don't think you're gonna like. It's different. People that probably see it for the first time aren't gonna necessarily catch that same vibe.
You know what? Like, well, not to interrupt, but
Mhm.
I could completely understand. Like when you said that, I was thinking about it as far as the Olympic side of it.
Yeah.
Like a good example is like skateboarding.
Yes. Yeah.
Skateboarding prior to being in the Olympics or X Games, things like that. It was a lot more pure.
Yeah.
Even when you look at like skateboard competitions now,
Right.
and these are man-made ramps, and they're like obstacles that only would exist in like you would have to travel city to city to to do these, and like it's just way different than
exactly.
the feeling of a cipher.
Exactly.
The feeling of being in a crew with crewmates
Exactly.
from all different countries.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then now you're like, it's kind of like basketball on the dream team.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
I could see that where like the pureness of it could easily get tainted.
Yeah. Which is kind of already happening now because you're starting to see the emergence of like teens and I guess the loss of like crew code. Like you don't see a lot of crews anymore. That's already like even a struggle to hold that type part of the culture. You know what I mean? Like everyone has I think because things are kind of moving more into like instead of brotherhood or being collective and representing together, it's kind of more individualistic. And I think I even had a phase where I felt like I had to be like that, and I realized that it wasn't as fun because it's way funner when you're breaking with people that enjoy it the same way you do, and you can speak the same language.
Yeah, I could hear that.
Yeah, so it was just way fun. It's just way funner, like for me, the culture. That's why I fell in love with it. With the Olympics, at the same time, while I'm in the business of like teaching, and I teach everywhere. Like I teach in my own community, Nashville City. For example, like I work in a world of different things because I do it studios. There's studios, there's a lot of schools, and I'm gonna say I always like you can't ignore the difference of opportunity, that like some of the younger kids or the youth have in different communities. So I kind of, for me, it's like I would, if there was an Olympics, I would want it for the best of the culture, So if it could do something where someone from like the southeast or like Nashville City can actually become something from that would actually make me really happy. Like I wouldn't be able to say that because it's just another way. It's just another, for me, it's the Olympics is kind of another, it's just another opportunity, and there's a lot of opportunities in this scene right now. So or I should say the culture, like there's just always opportunities throughout the years and different waves.
Yeah. And then, so we're back. The digital technology is just so difficult.
Yeah.
But now that we're back, and then we were talking about the ciphers for the Olympics, like you felt like as long as there's people doing ciphers.
Yeah, exactly. So what I was referring to. Like for me, like I've been like I've been involved with the youth for most of my break life. It's just kind of not because I was trying to get into it, but because more of it was like a calling. It was just more of a natural thing for me to do. Those opportunities weren't something I had to fight for; they just came in. So anyway, from that perspective, I've been able to kind of notice the waves, and for me, I see the Olympics as just another wave.
Yeah.
And the way I really try to get folks to really understand our culture is to really understand the ciphers and the really like grassroots events, while without docking opportunities such as things like Olympics. But for the most part, when I talk about the culture, say like go to the ciphers, and what I was referring to was being a student, you have to kind of like, I know we talked about this before, but really dig. But the way you start off, in my perspective, is you have to go in the ciphers because that's where you're really present.
Yeah. I can see that. That's a huge part. I mean, I think it's kind of like you start off like learning in your garage, and then you hone your craft, and then you bring it out to a cipher, which is like a for those that don't know, ciphers are basically like open circle kind of like you see it in movies where they're in a circle and then one person comes out and does their thing, people cheer them on or that kind of thing. I think it's kind of like for the b-boy experience, that would probably be your first introduction into like presenting yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean that's like a major thing.
Yes.
Where the Olympics would be like
it's about
a
the
Cypher
stage.
5000. Like that's like that's crazy,
Yeah. It's about the stage, image, sponsors, And I don't want to dock it, but it's different. It's just not the same.
It's like, it will become a sport where like power moves get
exactly
24 points or you know what I mean, like it will be weird, but I guess I don't know, I guess that'll be interesting to see, but
we'll see how it turns out. I know they have a lot of diverse folks involved, so
I'm sure the input's there, they'll figure it out, but that'll be very interesting. But I also think that like that kind of attention will be good for like businesses like mine, and just the way that you can get sponsorships for your events.
Right.
There might be people like Mountain Dew or something that are like like down to throw money at these like events and cash prizes, and you know what I mean, like they might have like cereal, what I mean, with like
the cereal,
breakers
like
on
Kellogg's,
it, like that'd be crazy,
all that
right?
stuff. I mean, and that's an interesting thing too, because I mean there's also a lot of folks that kind of that I learned from, who would actually say like, well, why is it like certain corporations that obviously want to get involved, and why is it those type of corporations, like I think what would be really interesting to the culture is to see like more I guess a more healthy, like more businesses focused on health and stuff like this. Like I think that would be a really awesome move to see more of that transition, because right now I see a lot of corporations and big drink names and stuff like that, but what I'd like to see in the future is like healthcare for like artists, or and above and beyond, that would be for me, I think, the missing piece of it all. And how we get that type of that's just kind of something in my mind where I would like to see more of.
Because I mean I don't think that breakers in general get the respect that like you guys are athletes for sure, you know what I mean, like like what you guys do and your bodies and everything like takes a toll, right. You guys are basically using your body as the tool, and it's kind of like baseball players, they need a new bat every X amount of years and a new glove, but like you guys throw yourself on the ground. You guys, your joints. You know what I mean? I'm sure it takes a lot of toll. So like the physical care and things like that.
Right, knees, back problems.
Yeah, or else you're gonna be like pop locking.
Yeah,
but not by choice. It's because you're like your joints are all jacked up.
Just automatic.
Like, oh, you popped now? No, I'm just trying to move, right?
Oh yeah.
That might be you in 10 years or so.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna be getting down. However it's gonna look, but
yeah, you're gonna be a popper. Like oh.
Yeah, for sure.
So then, like, I guess aside from breaking, like, you're a very interesting person. Aside from all that, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm sure anyone that's watching this, they already know Dyno Rock, the Breaker, blah blah blah. They've seen you around. Like one thing, like at all these events, when I see you, you're always like so serious, and like when you're judging and stuff, you're like, and like you're like a whole different person. But I've seen you outside of that circle, and like you're into like cartoons and stuff, and like anime, things like that.
Not too deep into anime.
Well, not anime, but like you could name 10 Pokemon.
Oh, dang, that's true.
Right?
Oh, yeah. But it's different because everyone was into Pokemon. It was like, a Game Boy thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could name 10 Pokemon probably.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a daughter that was into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, she would fall asleep and I would still continue to watch the cartoon, you know what I mean?
So this got interesting.
And, and I would play Pokemon Go. And,
right.
I got pretty far,
Yeah, I mean, I never went that far. I never got to the Go, but
yeah. It's pretty impressive. But I mean, I still see people playing.
Yeah.
I was talking. Well, Dre Cat.
Yeah.
And Kelly the Dreamer. He's always on songs with Dre Cat.
Right. Okay.
But like, I was telling Dre Cat, like, it's a trip because Kelly the Dreamer is like, I was having a bad day and then I found a Squirtle or something. You know what I mean? And then you're like,
oh yeah, it
or a Bulbasaur, and you're like,
yeah.
I knew the day was better, and I was tripping out like this rapper that's so hard and whatever. And like, Pokemon, the great connector.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, because I think nowadays I'm kind of trying to loosen up a little more because I realize, like,
like if you're too intense.
Yeah. Because I really, actually I was worse when I was a kid. Like I was really tense, like super tense, and it showed in the dance. I think like your dance reflects a lot of yourself. So if you actually look back, you're like, wow, I was really tense there.
Is it because you were so serious and like?
Yeah, or you just like just needing to prove things all the time.
Yeah.
But then you forget like, oh wait, I was into other things as well. Like I used to watch Godzilla movies, or I used to build Gundam with my brothers, and then. Yeah, but I mean, it's funny. I think it's just like learning, through life.
So, what are some of the stuff that like you geek out on now? Like, do you see things and you're like, oh damn, like.
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, you know what? This is like a better transition. You just went overseas.
Yeah.
So like, where did you go?
So we started out in Shanghai, then we went to Manila, and then from there what we did was. Well, actually, let me talk about first because I always go to the Philippines to visit my family.
Yeah.
But we did a round trip to Manila. Found like ridiculously cheap flights, and it was the first time we brought mine and Eric overseas. Yeah. So we just got the passports. Jahad was with us as well. He just got his passport. So Piggy and I took a couple trips over there. But anyway, we got all that done. We got a round trip, ridiculously good price. Started in Manila, then we worked our way. I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but
I didn't know you went to Manila first.
Yeah, because we booked the round trip, and that's actually how it started. Because, like I really just wanted to spend time with my family. My dad turned 70, I was turning 30.
Yeah.
My grandma's out there too, so we just kind of figured like, hey, let's do a couple of events out there as well. Like. Which is crazy. Yeah, and it just kind of worked out. It just worked out.
So you went to Manila, then you went to Shanghai.
Yeah, and then from there it was like Tokyo. Tokyo was first. We didn't go there for an event. It was kind of more of like a transition.
Yeah. Then you went to Singapore, right?
Yeah, then went to Singapore. That was our. We did a battle out there, Radical Force. It was like a 3-day event, and it was really fun. Yeah, Singapore.
And then you went Vietnam, right?
Vietnam. We stayed in Vietnam for like a week.
And it looked like when you guys were in Vietnam, it looked like it was hot as hell. Because I kept on seeing Jihad without a t-shirt. Like he was either like in a jacket or like pretty much naked.
It was humid,
with a fanny pack on his neck.
It was super humid. Yeah, it was like I had to bring a couple extra shirts with me. Yeah, so humidity in Vietnam. And actually, the last day became like really chilly. Like you felt the wind chill. It was weird.
Oh, out in Vietnam?
Yeah, in Hanoi, Vietnam. Yeah.
So then, like when you went on that trip, like, are there any highlights? Are there any like?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, aside from the breaking.
Yes.
So you can shout out all that stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Like I'm sure there was a lot.
There was a lot.
But, like, what did you see in those countries that, or have you been there before?
Vietnam, no, first time, and it was because the homie Just Rock when I told him hey, we're going to be going out to, do you recommend anything? He was like, hey, you come out to Vietnam, Concrete Jam, Hanoi Concrete Jam. That's actually how that started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how we found out about going to check out their the Hanoi scene. Yeah.
And then what about like other places? I mean, because I know you guys did some tourist stuff too, right? Like look around.
Yeah.
Was there anything that was like really cool to see, or was there so much that you just like don't remember?
Yeah, there was a lot. Like, I think the biggest thing was I kind of was like I was kind of explaining to everyone that was in our like crusade. We were like, all right, everyone, we're gonna really try to absorb everything. Like understanding how things work. Transportation. Food, and really appreciating the cultures. Where we check out. So Japan was like overwhelming, but for the most part, like it's really hard to remember. It's still kind of blurry, but
because you guys were like everywhere. I mean,
all I remember is arcade games like Doom and like Eric and Jihad just winning stuff.
Oh, really?
Like it was ridiculous. Like almost just like I still hear the sound of like the arcade in my mind. Yeah.
What about the food and stuff?
7-Eleven. Yeah.
7-Eleven?
7-Eleven. Yes.
That's what everyone says, like in Japan, right? The 7-Elevens are pretty awesome.
Yeah, now that the 7-Eleven. So in 3 words, if I were to describe my experience in Japan, okay, like Hello Arcades, 7-Eleven, and sleeping pods. Pods,
for the travelers, right? Like for like businessmen and stuff. Like
yeah, that was fun. I actually always looked forward to going back to the sleeping pod because it was like really peaceful and quiet.
So how does that work?
So you go in, you have to check in every day, and they give you like this bag, and then you have like a towel, toothbrush, and like all these things, like slippers. And then you're separated by male and female. So we went to our male dorm. You go up, it's super quiet, and then you have like a bunch of like pods in there, and you have to open it up, and they give you a specific number. They give you a locker. It's a shared bathroom too, so it's like, but it's clean. It's all clean.
So when you say a pod, how big is that?
It's pretty spacious when you get inside. Like it was really comfortable. Like you could probably fit 2 people in there, but obviously it's meant for one. So like I don't know.
What shape is it?
It's like
like an egg?
Like an egg, yes. Like almost like an egg, like a long egg.
Yeah. Okay. And then is there a TV inside or?
No, there's no TV.
Electrical outlet?
It's more of like it's
take
more
a
like
nap?
Like in Japan it's like just functional like
you're
there to sleep.
Yeah.
Like so it's like the pod was there like like it's set up for you to have a good sleeping experience. So like that's what it is. Like you go in there and you have a really good sleeping experience. And definitely I think we could all agree it was like really good like sleeping experience.
So you guys go to Japan to sleep.
Oh man, well it's different. I know for picking me it's different because like since we have to work a lot, like it's different. we don't have the best like sleeping. And I think when you get older too, you take it. You don't want to take it for granted when you have sleep. So for me, it's exciting. It sounds exciting.
No, I hear that. Well, and plus you guys are always like busy.
Yeah,
you guys are always traveling.
So we forget what it's like because we have to cut into a lot of hours. And stuff.
You guys are always awake.
Yeah, so I'd actually have to say like we looked forward to a lot of our like just like we have like we're staying here,
Yeah.
That was exciting enough for us. So yeah.
What about like some of the other places like Korea? How was that?
Oh yeah, Korea. So we went to Korea and shout outs to Penny of Floor Gangs. He was like he took out a lot of the time during his day to kind of show us around, and it was the first time for Piggy, Kiz, Jihad. But I met Penny 2014 and.
Oh, you've been to Korea before?
Yes. Yeah. After the Philippines, I went over to Korea for about a day, and so I remember specifically telling Penny like, "Yo, like, just give me the most Korean experience, like as if I'm from here. Like, what would you guys normally do?"
So he sent you to North Korea?
No. Oh shoot. Yeah, I don't know.
Then you joined the military?
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, that's true. I can't really experience that because of that part of it, but yeah. So I didn't go that deep into being like, Korea.
So which country had the best food while you guys were there?
Okay.
Well, besides Philippines,
we're all debating about this still because Piggy, she had like a really good experience in Singapore, but for me, like Korea, like.
Oh, you like Korean food?
Was really fun, and the reason why with Japan, we didn't have much opportunity to eat too much like anything outside of 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
For a lot of other reasons, I don't know. Like, I think because it was like our first stop, so we were kind of paranoid. Like, okay, we don't want to blow everything.
Oh,
so we kind of played it safe.
And that's probably easy to do.
Yeah, and then the food at 7-Eleven in Japan was like really good.
That's what everyone says. They said they love it.
It's the best.
Yeah, that's what they say. Like,
yeah.
That's the trip. So then in Korea, what did you like to eat?
Shoot. Oh man.
Well, do you eat kimchi?
I don't know. Yeah, kimchi. I'm really big on kimchi and like.
Oh, because of health properties like probiotic.
Well, the thing is, I enjoyed kimchi before that, but when I found out about its health benefits, I fell in love even more with it. Yeah. So. And they have with everything, so.
Yeah.
Korea was really good.
What did Piggy eat in Singapore? Like,
so they have like these food hawkers. I think I don't know. It's kind of like a term they use, but it's basically just
like street food
vendors and street food and stuff like that. But if you're trying to save money in Singapore and get some really good food, if you go to the malls and go to the what's it called? The food court. Yeah. Essentially, if you were actually to go to an actual restaurant, maybe like $10-$12. But if you go to the food court, we spent like maybe $3 for like enough for 2 people, and they would fill up the plate, and it was
$3 US.
Yeah, like $3 US, and Singapore currency is close to US currency almost, so it kind of was a lot easier to translate, the conversion.
For some reason, like I've always thought Singapore was like really, really wealthy. Or not all parts of it. I don't know. I'm really naive with like.
I don't know. I think it's like, yeah.
Yeah, DJ Root.
Right. Yeah.
So like Root was, we were doing the podcast and he was talking about Belize, and like I was like Belize.
Oh, okay.
Like BELIZE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I've never even. I'm like so unaware of like, what that is, and I don't know. I guess because like I don't travel a lot. I'm pretty much always here. Right. I hate driving far. I have a family, so it's hard to like fly everywhere.
Yeah.
I should have traveled more when I was younger. But that's cool that you guys get to go and do that.
Right. Yeah.
Because like I don't even have a passport. I mean.
Right. We're like just taking our advice, man. Just striking when the time is the right to strike.
Yeah. Strike is right.
Because we know that it's not always going to be as easy to use your time, like to be able to do these things. And we talk about it all the time. So we're like, all right, if this is an opportunity we can take, we're gonna take it. And then, but we know it's not gonna always be like that. It's like always weird pockets of time that we can try to figure out. So it just basically seemed like perfect timing, and that's why we decided to do it.
So then that kind of brings it into like full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you guys are kind of talking, or you're talking about like, strike when to strike is right. Like, what are the next steps for you guys? Like, what are your plans and things like that?
Oh, well, the way we usually operate, in terms of just what we're gonna do next is, like I would say, like we just base off feeling.
Yeah.
So if we know if something feels right, we'll kind of like talk. We'll have like a little meeting about it, figure it out. Like, all right, is this a good idea? And then we also base it off of what's the overall goal, and like the goal is always different. So I know we wanted to represent, like this time we wanted to represent as a crew, and really like highlight everybody.
Yeah.
And show that like and it was just fun. It was just a fun thing to represent with people that like because all of us we all started. Well, I would say like Jihad, Maya and Eric, like Pebbles and Doom, they have like a chemistry together because they
grew
kind
up
of
together.
came into the scene together.
Yeah.
Cypher Addicts 2013, I think. Cypher Addicts 2013 to now. But even before that, they were they had been breaking. But I think about 2013 and reflect on where we're at now, 6 years later. And it's kind of it's cool to see how everyone's growing, and it's just like it just feels like a good time to really highlight, how things look now, because it's been like so many crazy transitions in between then from then and now. So yeah, I mean, going back to your question, it's what do we have next?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of interesting, like some of the stuff you were saying, because one thing about you that's really interesting is that a few of these, like, I follow your guys' career and whatever, but a lot of times I'll say, like, oh, like Dyno and them, they went to Arizona or something.
Right.
And then you'll say, oh, yeah, we won out there.
Oh.
But it's not important who won.
Right.
It's just the fact that we won.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's pretty interesting about you, because I think oftentimes it's probably you that won, because I'll see a random picture with you and like some award.
Right.
Even when I was watching you guys in Asia, I was like, oh crap, like I think they won out there. Like,
that's funny.
But
man.
I think that's pretty cool about your character as a person, that you're willing to, like, it's not about the shine just on yourself.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's not Dyno and the crew.
Yeah, I definitely would
like
not
you're
want it to
definitely
be that way.
you're not that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you guys were a band, you're not the lead singer. You're not.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool about you.
Yeah, and actually, like I do want to talk about that a little bit, because like the concept of winning, like we really don't see it, like we don't break to really win. Like for me, I've been breaking for like a good amount of years. It's just people all of a sudden want to be like, also enter a competition or something, and it's just all of a sudden things will work a certain way and be like, oh shoot, like a certain outcome happened, like maybe a win, maybe not. But there's been plenty of times where I've taken a lot of losses, and I can reflect that in my life too, because like when I do take a win, it feels good, because I could tell my parents, my family.
Yeah.
And my family, we've experienced a lot of losses, experienced a lot of L's. So when everyone, it's always like a we effort, like, because I want us to feel good.
Yeah.
So when I translate it to like the crew or my family, Cypress State, it's the same mentality. Like,
the win is for all of us.
Yeah, win is always for all of us. Yeah, it's never just like for one person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like for me, it's more of like it's just an extra thing to keep you going throughout the day. Like, yeah. But I love this dance no matter what. Like, even if there was no competitions, I'll still be in the ciphers. Like,
Yeah,
Because I love it too much.
That's
It's too fun.
That's what I noticed about you
Yeah.
too. Like, I don't think that you're in it for all that. Like,
Yeah.
I think you're one of the rare people that are truly like in love with the culture, the style of dance, and just the music, just the community of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it's like, I don't know. You're different from all the other people that I've encountered. I guess you're like a purist, I guess.
I don't know.
But not so extreme like that. But just different. I think. I guess even when you watch yourself dance, it's different. You know, you're like, I know that you can do some stuff, but you're not like, you do a lot of the groundwork.
Right.
Where a lot of people are focusing on just power moves and tricks and wow factor.
Right.
But I trip out because like, and I think even those people that do power moves and stuff, they trip out.
I've always just kind of been like the type to just love the feeling of it, you know. So like, so with the creative aspect of it, it's just like, all right, this looks like it could be fun, you know. This sounds like it could be fun, you know. And then like in my mind, like all this geometry, math is happening, but like after a while, you kind of zone it all out, and it's just like you're just like super present, you know. And you're just kind of moving. So it's kind of, I'm not really concerned with how it looks on the outside usually, but for example, like if I look at it, like, because I watch a lot of my footage to like for like more creative purposes, you know, I'll see like, oh, what else can I do with that, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the type of like artist I am. Like I kind of like to build off of what I'm already doing or how it felt, and like kind of figure out like, oh, how did I feel that day, or like how did it feel when I was doing that, and then just carry it on. And then I kind of translate that to life, like, you know, like, oh, maybe that'll help me figure out, you know, like other parts, like, I don't know.
I can see that. Like, well, because you're very in tune with all that stuff. Like, you care about all the little parts that go into the bigger picture.
Oh yeah, right on, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, so that goes back to like the diet and the food. And, you always talk about like chiropractors and stuff. And
yeah, I do. I talk a lot about chiropractors.
Like all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then, so like for you guys, as far as Cypher State, well, first of all, how do people find you guys?
Oh yeah, well, the main thing we use is Instagram or Facebook. You can just look up at Cypher State, which is spelled CYPHER, and then ST number 8. Yeah. Some people think it's Cypher Street or Cypher Street 8.
Yeah.
Or Cypher State. But it's not that.
Yeah. And then I'll have a link.
State.
I'll have a link down below where people can find you guys.
Yeah.
But so like as far as right now, do you guys have any events or anything that you're doing?
Oh man. In
the near future?
Well, we're locked in for Film Fest because we've been doing that. This is gonna be our 3rd year doing Film Fest, and that's in October, so it's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think we're mostly focused on, well, one, like Life Foundation.
Yeah.
Setting up Life Foundation. That's always important. And then kind of doing a couple more battles. Yeah, we're still planning a couple battles. For example, Pebbles is doing the Red Bull battle, so we're getting her ready for that. Yeah, and that's a group effort too. We're getting her ready for it, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually. Other than that, like a lot of exciting things, but nothing we could really say yet, because they haven't been set in stone yet. But a lot of things were.
That's cool.
We know June's gonna be a really busy month, though. We're gonna definitely be.
Oh, really?
Active in June. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So,
oh, it's summer camps. Yeah, it's summer camp season.
Oh yeah.
I'll quickly breeze through that. So with summer camps, I'm doing Global Arts Camp. That's with Sibel. That's Sibel's summer camp she does every year. Then we're doing Neutrinos Museum. That one's for the really young kids. So if you have really young kids, feel free to take classes. And then Culture Shock Dance Center, doing like 2 camps there in a facility. I'm still working out a couple of other details with other places, but summer camps are our thing. Like throughout, for like we always focus on like, all right, like, what are we gonna do this year for summer camps? It's kind of an exciting time for us because we all get involved with it, and then
Yeah, and I think like for example, especially for the youth, if you guys out there know youth that are interested in like the foundations and just picking it up and that kind of thing, like my daughter, I mean, that's really how I got close with you guys. Because my daughter, she really wanted to break, and then eventually she quit, but I continued to like connect with you guys. And but you guys are so good with kids.
I hope so.
But see, like, it's funny because my daughter, like, she didn't even want to go for the breaking. She just wanted to like hang out and bother you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, she's a trip. But no, I think you guys are like really good instructors. A lot of fun for the kids. There's just a lot of people could learn a lot from you guys just in general.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and we can learn a lot from other people too, for sure.
Well, yeah, I think you do that, and I think that people know that about you. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, so as far as the summer camps and stuff, do they find that on Instagram or?
Yeah. So something, like I'm gonna try to get everything out on Instagram as soon as possible. It's just tricky, kind of organizing the information because there's a lot going on usually. So the best way to do it is just follow and just stay tuned for the updates because I kind of post to them like a couple weeks beforehand.
I'm gonna tell you something, and this is like the best kept secret in the world. There's a thing called a website, and I think if you were to have a website where people could find you,
I know that.
I bet you it would be a lot easier on your life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that advice was free, and
man, okay, appreciate it. Yes.
I'll even I'll show you this thing called the internet and like Google, and you can figure that out.
Oh yes, I've heard of Google before.
But no, you guys should seriously look into it because
I think so. I think we've been needing to figure out a way to just. Actually, it's been a struggle because we've been wanting to do like streamline everything, but we don't want to like come off as a business. I think that's the thing. It's kind of a struggle, and we talk about this all the time.
I like it for hours.
Yeah, exactly. And we're like, well, what do we do? Because we're artists, but I want to make it a point that like we just love the aspect of teaching. We don't necessarily feel comfortable with business, but we know at the same time there's sustainability, so you have to balance it. Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest dilemma for like artists.
Yeah,
I mean, for me,
sure.
I would love to be able to just give my stuff away. Like, but I have a family. I have a shop to run. You know what I mean? Got to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Things like that. So you just learn that you kind of have to.
I agree. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
at this point, I'm like, we're about to tap out. Like,
but like, I don't know. It's exciting. Like, I think that if people get a chance out there, like, to follow Cypher State, and that's even neat too, because it's not really about Dyno. It's not really about Pebbles. It's not really about Piggy, Domo, Jihad. Like, it's really about what you guys are doing,
right?
And you guys always shout out other events, things like that. So if you're in, well, not even San Diego. I mean, really, like anywhere.
Yeah. And
you're into the b-boy, b-girl culture. I would definitely say follow Cypher State. Because they're always somewhere. They might even be in your neighborhood. If you're not from here, you're in Arizona to Shanghai to who knows, like Sri Lanka. Yeah, who knows? Like you might see Cypher State at your jam. So once again, like I'm sure I'll have you on a lot, like many times in the future. But thank you so much for doing this.
Yes.
Thanks for being a guest at Hotel Charlie. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. But everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm gonna have a link down below for like Cypher State. Be sure to follow them. And if you see Dyno, give him some vegetables. He needs that healthy life.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right.
That's a wrap.
that's a wrap.
Wow. All right.